Hello everyone, welcome back to my Sims 2 Uberhood. My name is Brianna Peppers and today we are in Veronaville with Goneril Capp and her husband Albany and their two youngest children. We are currently here living at a 95 Bard Boulevard. They are next door neighbors with the Summer Dream family, and this is the same house that they've always lived in, but I have given it a little bit of a makeover. The most significant changes you're going to see is the fact that I added this garage. This was not here originally, and I'm really hoping that this decorative gate works out well with the car going in and out. But otherwise, the home is structurally the same, it just looks a bit nicer. I realized when I came in to do this makeover that there was no landscaping truly besides the maze. Like, we had the trees and stuff, but for some reason all of the what are these called? Flower beds and stuff were empty. I don't know if they originally had flowers in them and they died, but now that I have the perfect plants mod, I decided to add some flowers back. We have a nice connection right here between the garage and the main entrance of the home. We can go down and you're going to see there's nothing special about the garage. I do like to include some clutter with the garages, but there's not too much in here because I don't have any need to have it fully decorated. But this is Goneril's car. I do think this is the car that she already had. I see here that the newspaper delivery is going to start happening at this door, and unfortunately there's nothing I can do to really change that. I've already deleted and replaced the main entrance a couple of times, so it should have been considered the most recent door, but again, it isn't. So I think ultimately I will just ban the newspaper delivery and it won't really be an issue. I mean, I guess it's close enough to the front door. Whatever, it doesn't matter. But next, before we go inside the house, of course, I want to show you outside. I do see a little sim up there looking through the telescope in the middle of the day. But down here we have a new fire pit with a nice seating area and an outdoor bar. And we do also have a little putt-putt station. This is actually a career reward for the business career. I think it was either Albany's or Goneril's. I replaced the middle of these flowers with a fountain because I thought that it's kind of a nice touch. It's giving wealthy, you know? And I left the maze completely untouched. That just kind of came with the house. Alright, so here we are at the front door. I'm going to attempt to take you on a little tab tour. So again, not much has changed structurally for the house, but the decorations and stuff have changed. I've changed the stairwell, the wallpaper, the floors. You're gonna see Sims walking around, but just ignore them for the time being. I did want this house to look old, like it's existed for a long time. Maybe several generations of the Cat family have lived here, for all we know. But at the same time, similar to how I kind of did with the Cap house with Consort and Dina, it has slowly become modernized over the years with today's modern comforts. Number one being I ripped out the existing fireplace. I think we had a fireplace in here, but I got rid of it. I decided that it ultimately didn't work with the furniture, and I never used the fireplaces anyway, so I ripped out the fireplace, and in turn we have a flat screen TV, and they have a nice bookshelf, leather sofa, reading nook, and I don't know, some storage areas. And then you're gonna come through the first story here to your right. This is just a bathroom, nothing special. And then over here on the far left, we have like our phone area and our kitchen. It's pretty small, especially for a house of this size, but it's quaint, it's cute, it's got everything that they need. I didn't change anything about the kitchen except for the floor and the wallpaper. And the dining room is significantly different. They have the same furniture, but just a bit spruced up. So we have a wine bar over there on the corner. I even have little wine glasses hanging from it, and I thought that was adorable. And then if you face from this direction, they have a whole like wine, what is it called? Oh, they have like wine cellars in like rich people's homes, but unfortunately we don't have a cellar in this house, so this is the closest thing that they have to that. And we have like an assortment of things. I do believe that it's a functional coffee maker to the far right, kind of like an espresso maker. They have a fruit basket and a tea set for whenever they inevitably have over guests. I'm sure that they're going to be entertaining quite a lot, especially considering they're climbing up in the business career. They're going to need to impress their coworkers and stuff like that. This is our butler, Colin. And then we're going to go upstairs with Albany. So we just came up the stairs, and there's not much up here. This is just a landing area. There is a door that leads out to this outdoor balcony. What is going on? Why is Carter floating? I don't know. But yeah, so we have our telescope. Carter is their youngest child. We're going to get to talking about this in just a moment. But he is highly interested in science, so I'm going to keep this telescope out here for him. So since we're closest, we're gonna go into Carter's room first, the first room off the stairs. And this is it. Again, it's nothing special. It's just a little boy's room. He has a toy box, a desk for his homework, a bed. Oh, I did not notice that that alien is floating. It's kind of on theme though. Just lots of posters, cute rug, etc. I like to think that Goneril and Albany sort of just let their kids decorate their rooms how they wanted, so there's no real rhyme or reason to it. We have some more toys down there. And then next to Carter's room is Goneril and Albany's bedroom, so trying to get a good angle of everything, but this is what it looks like when you walk in. You have your dresser, they have a little seating area over here, I guess if they need to like sit down, change their shoes or something. The bed. This is the same bed they had before, I just recolored it and gave them some extra bedding. And again, it's nothing special, but it is a little bit nicer than it was, in my opinion. And they do have a connecting bathroom that I have changed a little bit. Now they have a separate tub and shower situation because the bathroom's pretty big. So I felt like they could use that extra space that way. Okay, and then you can come back out into the hall. Oh, there's Goneril right there. I've turned this little corner over here into like a hobby corner. We have a ballet bar with a mirror and easel if anyone wants to do any painting. And we do have a computer over here, of course, for the parents to do any of their necessary business on that they can't do in the office. This is just a very small bathroom. Talia is in here. Just a little small guest hallway bathroom. And then, oh, sorry. Yes, no, this is the door. Last but not least, we have Talia's bedroom. So this is going to be kind of like an onslaught of colors, but just bear with me. I wanted to go with the vibe that Goneril originally had this room decorated in a sort of classical princess style, but then of course as Talia got older, she started to collect her own belongings and has her own taste. It's kind of a mixed match of the two separate styles. And Talia is a little bit more of a tomboy, although she is slowly beginning to explore her more feminine side as she starts to become interested in boys and things like that, of course. But I like to think, like, for example, with the hockey sticks and the workout equipment, you know, she's been very busy, kept herself very fit. We do have plushies, makeup, things of that nature. She has a boombox down there. I like this little corner. Now, bear with me, I know that it's a little odd to have the bed in just like the middle of the room like this. Normally, I would have the bed against the wall just to kind of have more floor space, but this room was being very peculiar about where I placed things. Like on the far right where you see that bookshelf, and then the far left here where this shelf is, the game would not let me really put anything there, so I kind of had to just work around that. And we have this little corner down here with her lamp and some posters. Also, this is where the structural integrity of the home was ruined a little bit. So one thing I noticed, and this is actually very common in a lot of Maxis built homes, hold on, let me turn off the ceilings and stuff, is that the windows will be placed inside out. So this part of the window, I don't know what you would call this exactly, like the sill, the window sill. I do believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure this part is supposed to be facing outwards, and most of them were facing inwards, so I swapped all the windows around. But this window would not go in this spot. I tried to move objects on, obviously. I tried everything that I could think of, but nothing would allow me to put the window back after I swapped it. And unfortunately, now when you look at it, it looks kind of crazy, but we're just gonna have to ignore it. It's not that important. Alright, so that's a tour of the home, so let's go ahead and take a gander at our Sims, sort of like a reintroduction, after we haven't seen them all for so long. So you may be familiar with Goneril Capp and Albany. They originally start the game with 3 children, and it is a possibility, of course, to have more, which they did. So their currently 2 youngest children are living with them. Their 3 eldest, Miranda, Hal, and Desdemona, are all out. Oh wait, four older, sorry. Miranda, Hal, Desdemona, and Ariel. Yes, Ariel was the youngest at the time. So Ariel is off at college, Desdemona just graduated and got her own place, Hal got his own place after college as well, and Miranda, the oldest, is actually living in Pleasant View with her husband and children. So yeah, they are almost out of kids in the house, but their youngest is still a ways away from moving out. Goneril here has 11 days until she becomes an elder. Her father has just passed away from old age, so yeah, she was catching up to him. She is a fortune sim, and we do now have a secondary aspiration, which, of course, for Goneril is popularity. Now, Goneril is not necessarily a super nice sim, and she's not quite that outgoing either, but I think that it ties in nicely with her, career drivenness, how her ambition is going to be what drives her to make more connections, not necessarily friends, but she is going to make sure that she knows everyone and everyone knows her. So I thought popularity made a lot of sense. Her bio says, while Goneril wanted children, it certainly wasn't her idea to have this many kids, and why does she feel like Albany perhaps married her more for her money than for her love? And so I don't know exactly what all I discussed the last time we played this family, because I'm sure that my opinions of The Sims have changed quite a bit since then, but essentially what I'm working with right now is that Goneril and Albany actually were in an arranged marriage. They did not marry for love. I don't know exactly what Albany's history is. Like, his family were the Normans. His original name is Albany Norman. And we're not really given too much information about where he came from, what his situation was, but he was married off, or I should say, Goneril was married off to Albany, and they were really just expected to start having kids pretty much right away, and that's how they ended up with their whole litter. Needless to say, they ended up, of course, having more children, and that's how we got Talia and Carter, and now they have a brood of 6 kids. Goneril's current lifetime want is just to reach the maximum long-term aspiration, and to be honest with you, I don't really know what that means, but this is one of the custom 50 lifetime wants. I might change it, I don't know, that just kind of happened randomly, I think. She is the president of her family's business, and of course, as you guys know, her father Consort was the business tycoon. Now that Consort has passed away, it's kind of up in the air about who's going to take over his place, and so Goneril is kind of battling it out. Um, Technically speaking, since she is the eldest Capp child, and she's, the firstborn daughter, it should go straight to her. But as other people have mentioned in my comments and stuff when I was talking about Consort passing away and this whole situation on his episode, people did point out that Juliet is technically supposed to be the heir, which doesn't make a lot of sense because she's not the first grandchild and she's not the first grandchild of the first child. But for whatever reason, Juliet was intended to be the heir, and I think that we can safely say that she is not even up for discussion regarding this because she actually doesn't even work in the business career and she married a Monty. So both of those things kind of take her out of the running. So I do think that Goneril is a very ambitious woman and really would like to take over her father's place in the company. She wants to be the big boss. So let's see if we can get her there during today's episode. She's already level 8. If she can get to level 10 during this episode, I think that I'm going to say she's taken over, one way or the other. Goneril's favorite hobby is cuisine, although she does dabble in games and arts and crafts and a little bit of film and literature. She is kind of a woman of many trades. Her current turn-ons are reserved sims and ambitious sims, and she's turned off by unconventional sims. So take that for what you will. And we do have traits for all of the sims as well. And I'm pretty sure I handpicked these. I don't know, it's been a minute since I did this. I left and came back. So I'm not sure if I chose these or if they were random, but I still think they're very fitting. So number 1, Goneril is very dramatic. I like to think that she can really spin a tale if she needs to, so dramatic makes sense. Obviously, she's also a snob. I mean, it really just comes with being a Capp. I think that they are naturally just kind of snobby when you have grown up your whole life with this much power and this much money. I'm afraid it is pretty hard to stay down to earth. She is a schmoozer, which ties in nicely again with her popularity secondary aspiration. And she's a bookworm, so she really enjoys to read and she likes to think of herself as well cultured. Although this one makes me laugh, she is also unstable. So the unstable trait is kind of, I think, up to your interpretation when it comes to how you want to view it in The Sims 2. Obviously, it has a very different meaning in The Sims 3 because what this does in The Sims 3, to my understanding, is it'll just change their other traits from time to time. It just kind of makes them, as it says here, unpredictable. But I also like to think that this just kind of means that Goneril, even though she seems to be the classic stereotype of a rich and powerful, or should I say power-hungry woman, She is not afraid to do whatever it takes, and that could make her seem a little bit unstable. Like, maybe she'll fly off at the handle if someone was to, I don't know, accuse her of something. I don't know. She definitely strikes me as the type. So I think that was a random one, and I decided to keep it because it made me laugh. So I think that's it for Goneril right now. And then if we go over to Albany, oh, he's right here. So Albany also has gotten a new look, of course, because I have new default hair replacements. So he's no longer wearing his little hat, but I think he's very handsome. He's slightly older than Goneril. He has 6 days until he becomes an elder. I don't think he'll be growing up in today's episode. Well, growing up, but you know. But I think that it will happen, in fact, in the next round when we come back for the winter rotation. He is a family sim, and if you see here, he has the want to have another baby, but let me tell you something, Albany, that is certainly not going to happen. Even though Goneril could physically get pregnant because she's only 11 days from becoming an elder, I think that with my different mods that I have for like fertility and things like that, it just is not going to be possible, and I just don't see it on any earthly way. I don't see Goneril adopting another kid. She's definitely done. She never wanted the ones she had to begin with, much less a seventh. He is a secondary popularity aspiration, just like Goneril, and I think this complements his relationship with Goneril nicely because although, yes, they did have an arranged marriage and perhaps didn't know each other very well when they got married, even though I'm sure if you look at their memories, you'll see that they like fell in love and stuff, but the story that I'm rocking with here, yeah, he's had his very first kiss with Goneril after his father died, so I like to think that his father died and his mother, maybe the Norman family was hurting for money, and she sort of pushed him off to go marry one of the Capp kids, and Goneril had just entered the market as a young adult, so they had their very first kiss, and then his mother died, and he just kind of followed the plot. He's like, okay, let me just go get married to this woman. It says that he fell in love with her before they had their first kiss, but I think that he sort of had a one-track mind. He was like, okay, let me go get married to this woman, and I'm sure that the love came later. I mean, if you look at their relationship right now, they're really good friends. They get along very nicely, but they do only have one chemistry bolt, which is pretty low. Albany is a senior manager in the business career. If I'm not mistaken, he actually starts the game with being unemployed, which could also make him out to sort of look like a gold digger, if you will, like a house husband. But of course, at the time when you first get them started, they're pretty poor, and buying this house took all the money that they had, and he kind of had no choice but to get a job, especially because he wanted Goneril to continue having children, and so she had to take a lot of time off work due to her pregnancies and raising the newborns. So yeah, he ultimately ended up getting into the family business, and he's now only a senior manager, even though he is, of course, older than Goneril. I think that this makes sense, of course. I don't think that he would ever really truly be able to surpass his wife because she is the Capp and he is not. I mean, he took her last name and everything, so obviously the Capps have a little bit more weight on the scale, if you will. And not to mention the fact that Albany has never been a career-driven man. I mean, I don't know what his story is from back home, but with him being a family aspiration, I don't think that, you know, wealth was ever truly a main desire for him, but he just knew that he needed to marry wealthy if he wanted to have like lots of kids and stuff. And I'm sure that he saw the Capp family growing up maybe and had this idea in his head that he'd like to be a part of that big family. So here we are. Albany's bio says that he loves his children, too bad they don't love each other. Can Albany convince them that family is important, and can he convince Goneril as well? So clearly he has always been a bit more family driven, and things have changed quite a bit. I mean, his older children still are quite distant from one another and distant from their parents. In fact, I don't think that he has a really good relationship. Yeah, like with Miranda, he's barely friends with her. But, I mean, with everyone else, they kind of had time to bond, so that's nice, I guess. And his turn-ons are fit sims that are athletic, and he dislikes serious sims, which is kind of funny. I mean, Goneril's not exactly serious. She's kind of more in the middle between serious and playful, but this just reiterates my point that I just don't think that Goneril and Albany are soulmates or anything. I think that he's certainly more attracted to other people. Oh my gosh, Ophelia Smith being number one. But yeah, it doesn't look like he's ever met anyone that he's like head over heels attracted to. No three bolters, but I've never seen Albany as the type of man that would step out on the marriage anyway, especially after this long. with Goneril. They've toughed it out this long. I think that they're gonna last. And let's talk about his traits really quickly before I forget. So I do think that these were randomized, and I just picked and chose which ones kind of made sense. Number one, he is lucky. He goes through life with a comforting sense of luck. He wins often and big. So that is kind of an exact example of how he ended up getting into the Capp family. He's also just a good person. He goes out of his way to help friends and family in need. He's charitable with his money, and he frequently comforts those around him. So I like this a lot, especially now that they kind of are getting to be not rich exactly, but a bit more wealthy than they used to be. I think that it would totally drive Goneril wild that he would give away money because she's like, absolutely not. But he does have no sense of humor, which I'm not sure how I feel about that. I mean, he is extremely serious and extremely grouchy. Just kidding. That makes perfect sense. Well, in that case, I'm not sure why his turnoff is serious Sims. Maybe he just wants someone in life that is a bit more carefree than he is. But yeah, he has no sense of humor, and he's proper. He has very proper etiquette and nice code of nice manners, it says. Code of honor, yeah. And then last but not least, he is a supernatural skeptic. So I don't really play with supernaturals in this neighborhood anyway, but when he randomized this, I immediately had this thought that Albany kind of strikes me as the type of person who is very much not open-minded and would not enjoy even somewhat the idea of there being like other creatures out there. Never mind the fact, of course, that he lives amongst aliens, but he doesn't really know that, does he? So I don't know, he just kind of gives me those vibes. It says he prefers the security and comfort of normality, and I definitely see that. I don't know, it just made sense. So that's it for Albany for now. And then over here she's checking herself out. We have the beautiful Talia Capp. She's gotten a little bit of a makeover, but she ultimately still looks the same. She's got a new outfit. She's got some jewelry on. I kind of have been rolling with the vibes that Talia was sort of like a tomboy. If not a tomboy, then at least like she just didn't really care about her femininity, but she has slowly been growing into it because she is starting to show a real interest in boys. So there's that. She is a fortune sim like her mother. Her current lifetime want is to become a criminal mastermind. And I don't normally pay any attention to these when they're teenagers because you can't really accomplish them as teenagers anyway. But it'll be really interesting to me once she goes to university and comes back if she keeps this lifetime want, because for her to want it to go into the criminal industry makes me think that maybe the Capp family business has sort of like some dabblings, if you will, in the criminal world, and maybe Talia is picking up on that and she's starting to become interested. I think that's fascinating. Of course, she has no secondary aspiration because she is just a teenager. I give them to my Sims when they become adults. She has 5 days until she becomes an adult, speaking of, which means she is going to be moving off to university during this round at some point, probably towards the end, because we'll be playing for about 4 days. So that makes sense. She does have a part-time job. She's a private school student with the B+, and she is a mailroom technician. Oh yeah, in the business career. Completely forgot about this. But yeah, her mother has gotten her a little part-time job with the Capp family business, whatever it is that they do. Obviously, Goneril is going to want her children to follow in her footsteps, because so far all of her older children, at least Miranda and I want to say Miranda and Hal, they both have not gone into the family business to my memory. And her youngest daughter, Desdemona, is kind of going off the rails a little bit. Not her youngest daughter, but her youngest adult daughter. And then Ariel is still in university, so I guess only time will tell. But basically, I think Goneril is starting to sense that none of her children are going to end up following her footsteps, and she's getting a little nervous. So she told Talia that she has to get this part-time job. Talia is a Scorpio, so she's neat, outgoing, active, kind of serious. She's about the same as Goneril there, and extremely grouchy, so she's not really a very nice person. She doesn't have a bio. Oh yeah, Albany's one true hobby, by the way, is science, but he has more interest in arts and crafts. I think I might change it entirely, because what with him being a supernatural skeptic, I like to think that's also sort of an alien skeptic, and I think, in fact, he would not be interested in science at all. Anyway, yeah, but Talia's one true hobby is sports. She's dabbled in quite a few other things, but like I said, she's starting to sort of step away from that a little bit as she gets into her more teenage years because of her interest in boys. Maybe she's feeling a little bit of peer pressure because she's worried that if the guys see her like one of the guys, that she's not really going to be able to pull anybody. So she's instead starting to focus a bit more on the more feminine things such as like ballet, which is why I have the ballet bar back there. Ballet is technically a sport if you want to think about it that way. More like a aerobics, like gymnast type thing, but you know, they're all the same in The Sims. Her turn ons are Sims with blonde hair, and she likes athletic Sims, and she is turned off by aliens. So, very similar to her father in that way. She probably is more willing to accept the existence of aliens because she literally like goes to school with them and stuff, but she's not attracted to them at all. In fact, she's turned off by them. And then her traits, she only has four because she's a teenager. She is a schmoozer like her mother. She's lucky like her father. And she's flirty. And she's athletic, of course. So I love this. I also thought about the possibility of Talia becoming a cheerleader because I don't really have any canonical cheerleaders, I think, in the Uberhood yet. I'm gonna start thinking about maybe assembling cheer squads and soccer squads, hello, soccer teams, football teams, things like that. Obviously, they won't really be playable, but it would be kind of fun to say get together a group of teenagers and be like, hey, these are all the cheerleaders or these are all the football players. I like that idea. I'm gonna maybe start working on that from here on out. So, yeah, let's say that Talia maybe is gonna go to school tomorrow on Monday and go to cheerleader tryouts. That'd be pretty fun. All right, and last but not least, we have little Carter Capp. So Carter is the youngest of six children. He has some old parents. All of his siblings are adults. He already has nieces and nephews, and he is only just a baby. He becomes a teenager in 5 days, so about the same time Talia will be going off to college, he'll be becoming a teenager. He, of course, does not have an aspiration. He is a Cancer, though, which I think normally in my game, Cancer Sims become family Sims, or maybe Knowledge. I think it might be Knowledge, actually. Actually, yes, let's go with Knowledge regardless, because he is extremely into science. He is also got a great personality. Look at this. He's one of the only people in this house with an extremely nice personality. Something that I've noticed is a bit of a trend in my game is that the youngest children often tend to become the kindest, and I wonder if that's because they grow up around such mean people that it kind of makes them want to be the opposite. Oh, because I can totally understand that. Yes, he's extremely neat, outgoing, pretty active, mildly serious, but still more playful than his father, and extremely nice. His one true hobby is science, and he has so much enthusiasm in it already. I guess he's been spending a lot of time on this telescope. Obviously, he doesn't have turn ons and turn offs yet, secondary aspiration. Oh, and he's in public school. We do need to get him into private school. Look how high his logic skill is, by the way. Yeah. So I think that Carter is like a little genius. I think that he's extremely smart, maybe does very well in school. Obviously, he just became a child on, I think, Saturday, maybe Friday night, I think. So he hasn't even gone to school yet. So that's why he has a C plus. But once he does start going to school, he's going to start making some really good grades. Alright guys, so finally, oh, well what do you see here? Finally, with all the introductions out of the way, we are going to get started. It is a Sunday morning at 7 a.m., nothing super exciting going on. I do want you to not spy on your neighbors because I feel like they're not going to like that. We're going to just get the day started. Maybe tonight is when we will invite over the headmaster to go ahead and get Carter into private school. That way he never even has to go to a single day of public school. I do think that this family would take that very seriously. Okay, and we have some hobby stuff happening already. How adorable is this? Talia's practicing her ballet, and this is also going to help her body skill, which is great as an athletic sim. And Goneril is painting something. Why is everyone just wanting to... Oh, he wants to be red too. I do see that Carter wants to adopt a pet, but I think that, yeah, I thought about that. I saw that Albany had the want as well, but I was looking at their interests, and hardly anyone in this house is really interested in animals. I guess Carter and Goneril kind of have an interest, but I just don't see this being the type of household where they want dogs or cats running around. I feel like they would try to keep the house very clean. I can't exactly explain it, but Goneril just strikes me as the type of mother who would never allow animals in her home, so I don't think we're going to be doing that. I do see that she wants to woohoo in bed. In fact, they both do. So by all means, go ahead and get some bonding time out of the way. Poor Carter just wants someone to talk to. Oh look! Talia lost some weight, or I think she just became extremely fit. Yeah, she's at the top of the ladder now. Good for her, maybe she can keep up with it. Oh man, they're just chatting and she's like being mean to him. They do have a pretty good friendship, I will say that. I'm sure they'll end up becoming best friends before not too much longer. How's this going over here? So, we're not going to be trying for a baby. Of course, if it happens, I will be completely shook. I don't think that should even be possible, especially at her age. But, regardless, no matter what happens, they will not be having a baby. I'm letting y'all know that here and now. Okay, so the Sims are starting to get a little hungry. I'm probably just going to send them down to get some breakfast and stuff. Oh, just getting the butler made. What is happening? Well, oh, something's broken. Oh, you can't delete this object. Yeah, I forgot. I think something happened to that mac and cheese. I don't know, but we're going to have Talia come down and make some breakfast. I'll probably just hang out with them for a little while they set up for the day. And we will regroup tonight whenever it's time for the headmaster. Okay, so Talia just got home from work and she has been promoted to executive assistant and she reached the top of her little business career, at least the part-time version. So that's very good. She has the want to win the Young Entrepreneurs Award, which is a scholarship that you get for having an A+ and for being at the top of your career track as a part-timer, which is great because now she'll definitely get that. Well, actually, when she gets the A+, and then she'll definitely get that. But yeah, it comes as no surprise, of course, that she would get promoted, especially seeing as how she's probably her own mother's assistant at this time, so there's that, I guess. And we also have the headmaster here, BJ Ryan, and Goneril is on her way to give him a tour of the home. I did get a notification, I forget who it was from, I think it was from Noah Pleasant, actually. Yeah, it was from Noah Pleasant. He was like, Talia, are we still friends? So I'm gonna have to get her to maybe invite him over or just call and speak to him on the phone. I don't want her to lose any of her friends. Talia is probably gonna end up becoming a secondary popularity sim like her parents. We'll have to see how this tour goes. Showroom. See if he likes it, and he does. I also had the butler make some dinner, and it looks like he's about to come serve the table. Oh, okay, who is she calling? Noah, I guess. I don't know why the Sierra Scott person is here. Call Noah, just talk for a while. He served something that's not there. Shrimp and calamari. Okay. I don't know, I think this is like an air fryer meal, and I clearly don't have the mesh for it. So he's serving food that they can't eat, which is awesome. That's just great. So, what now? I don't know. Did she show him this room? I was not paying attention. Let's see. Okay, yeah. Albany, you're gonna be my backup. That was such a waste. What can he make? I don't know if the headmaster would like Grandma's comfort soup, but everything else seems pretty low. I mean, he only has 4 cooking skill points. If I make some spaghetti or something, I don't think he's gonna like it. And I do have some custom foods, but I have no idea how that's gonna go over. Okay, and then we'll go upstairs. How are the kids doing? Well, Talia's pretty hungry, and Carter's pretty bored. Maybe they can play together, get some fun up. I cannot believe the butler made something completely inedible. That is bizarre. Okay, he liked that room, and now the tour is over, and we're at 40 over 90. I'm just gonna keep her talking to him. She's a schmoozer, it's in her blood, okay? She can convince him. Oh, entertain school cheer. I wonder if he would like that. Gonna keep an eye on Albany. If he burns this, I just don't know what we're gonna do. If this family doesn't get their youngest kid into public school... Oh, no! And I said public school, I meant private school. Okay, I knew he was gonna burn it. Damn. I'm very upset. I was really hoping that Colin would make, like, some turkey or something. Oh my god. We're just gonna have to have spaghetti. It sucks. But it seems a bit more dignified than hamburgers. Oh, okay, he's liking that. And he likes this. Even though I'm sure that Goneril is humiliated. Okay, well that's nice. She can now schmooze about money. Let's see how that goes. She definitely likes money enough. Oh, perfect. Wow, if it keeps up at this rate, I might not have to feed him at all. She can flirt with him, which is hilarious. Alright, let's see how that spaghetti comes out. Yes! Oh, wow, and I forgot that I have a default replacement. Looks pretty good. Got some garlic bread on there. So which of the kids were hungry? This one? They're gonna come have a family dinner. 97 over 90. Oh my god. That's incredible. Good job, Goneril. I didn't even have to feed him. That is so funny. It's almost too easy. So Carter just got into private school with 0 food points. Fantastic. Well, I want you to stop and come eat dinner with your family. I may need to turn off... Yeah, let's turn that light off. They're gonna eat by candlelight. And now they're just sitting around, celebrating the fact that little Carter just got into private school. And they're all feeling very lucky, I guess. Alrighty guys, so it is now Monday, almost at 8 o'clock in the morning. Goneril and Albany are off to work. Of course, Goneril ended up taking her own car. I guess she did not want to offer Albany a ride. And so Talia and Carter are going to be going off to school. Oh look, and Colin made pancakes. Well, oh, he's going to set them out on the table. I would kind of like to make sure that those get put away. But yeah, we're going to be sending the kids to school, and I think the first one to get home is going to be Talia. I think that today I would like to spend some time working on her relationships. Maybe we will send her out to a community lot to, I don't know, not meet new people necessarily, but she still hasn't had her first kiss or anything. Maybe she wants to get flirty with some boys. I don't know, but she does need to hurry up, because she's about to miss the bus. Alright, so we'll regroup with everyone when they get back home. Okay, so we did just get a chance card for Albany. It says Albany's warehouses are reporting a huge overstock of Larry the Talking Llama. Albany, on the advice of his sales team, acquired the rights from Alpaca Soft to be SimCity's sole distributor of the overstuffed talking toy, as the fuzzy llama was projected to be all the rage. But actual sales haven't even come close to expected figures. An opportunity arises to license the toys as the athletic mascot of the SimCity Llamas, but at this point Albany wonders if he shouldn't just donate the stupid toys to the SimCity Children's Home and cut his losses. So I don't feel like a Cap would donate anything, so we're gonna license it. Ooh, Albany orders his engineering staff to reprogram the tens of thousands of Larry llamas with catchy team phrases like "Go Llamas" and "Charge" and "Set the table." Though he doesn't really understand the latter, his young engineering staff assures him that it's a very cool thing to yell at llama home games. On the backs of the new catchphrases, Larry the Talking Llama is remarketed as Dagby the SimCity Llama mascot, and sales go through the roof. Albany is promoted to president and receives 3 logic and 3 creativity skill points. So he's coming home early in a limo. Look, Dina. Dina's walking by. Wait. Albany, do you want to say hello to your, well, I don't know what she is to you, but your ex-mother-in-law? Oh, wow, so he just got promoted to president. Wasn't he level 6? Wait. Wasn't he level 6? So how did he jump up 2 whole levels? Or am I crazy and he was level 7? I don't know. I guess I'll find out when I edit back the video. But, look, he wants some attention and no one's home. I want you to greet Dina. Holy crap. I feel like they don't really know each other, but, he would be friendly with her. He also has 2 bolts of chemistry with her, but we're not going to go there. Talia is horsing around with some classmates one afternoon when she manages to effortlessly toss a chair clear across the classroom. The football coach notices this display of skill and promptly gives Talia a spot on the team. I have another chance card. Anyway, Talia got a body skill point for being on the football team. I thought she would be a cheerleader, but that's kind of funny too. Okay, Goneril has a new thing as well.
Butterscotch Technology is looking for a new CEO, and Goneril appears unrealistic candidate, though Goneril has been happy at her current corporation. No, she hasn't. The thought of possibly becoming a CEO is tempting. After researching Microsoft, Goneril is impressed with their business record.
Okay, so basically she's getting an offer from an outside company. Do you think that she would go or stay? I think she would stay because she wants to keep moving up. I don't think that she would give up on her own family company, even if it meant a higher position. She is ambitious, but not that ambitious. Like, she wouldn't be so, I guess, she wouldn't turn her backs on her family like that. Though Goneril chooses to stay, word has it that she was seriously considered for the position at Microscotch, but refused to even meet with them. The members of her company's board are impressed with her loyalty and promise that she's next in line for CEO, but give her a 5,000 bonus in the meantime for staying aboard. Look at that! We're all winning! So I'm very curious to see when Goneril comes home if she's going to get a promotion or not, because she does have really good work performance. She's got all the skills, all the friends that she needs. I think if she does not get a promotion, it's going to be quite interesting to see like how she handles having the same job as her husband, even though she's probably much more qualified for the job than he is. I think that he just lucked into this. Sorry, I can't help but notice how absolutely freaking stunning Dina is. Oh my god. I'm obsessed with her. Anyway, Albany's really hungry, so I'm going to send him to get something to eat. Maybe finish making the omelets he was cooking earlier. And yeah, we'll catch back up with them when the rest of the family gets home. Okay, I missed the moment that she came home, but yes, it has happened. Not only did Goneril bring home her brother-in-law, Cornwall, but she got the promotion to CEO, so she is one step closer. I feel like CEO being, at the top of the company is essentially her inheriting the role from her father. Yes, technically speaking, level 10 would be business tycoon. I feel like that's like the big honcho for sure. But yeah, with her being the top of the company, I mean, she's basically acting CEO, so, or she is CEO, not just active CEO. But anyway, all that is to say, she is officially the current conglomerate of the Capp family business. And only time will tell, of course, because we don't know who is going to follow up after Goneril. She's not getting any younger. Of course, she could keep this job well into her elder years, for all I know. I don't think that she is ever really going to be the type of person to retire, just like her father never retired. So we're just going to have to see who takes up the mantle after her. But yeah, for the time being, I think that she's very happy. She got everything that she wanted. I like to think that she kind of had to battle it out with her family. And so the reason that her husband Albany was promoted to president was because Goneril got the CEO position already. I like to think that a little bit of nepotism, of course, is happening, but then again, the whole family runs the business, so it's all sort of nepotism in a way. But yeah, she has chosen to have Albany like be her like fulfill her spot as president so that she can focus on being CEO. Cornwall is here, and it's funny because we just got a pop-up from Cornwall saying that he wanted to speak to Albany, but so he's here so we can just kind of hang out with him. This is Goneril's sister's husband, so her brother-in-law. And Carter is here, and he brought a friend home from school. This is someone named Tasha Stallcamp. Just a randomly generated townie, but she looks pretty cute, and we're trying to make friends with her. So we're just gonna, I don't know, spam things. Oh yeah, and Talia is at work. Why am I getting so many chance cards today? That's kind of funny. Or is this a chance card? I think it is. Yeah, on her lunch break, Talia notices a new antique store called London Charms opening across the road from her office. It occurs to Talia that a joint business venture between her corporation and a smaller privately owned store might be just what her company's looking for, but she also notices some trinkets that might be far more valuable than they look. She could take her lunch hour to shop or deliver a proposal to her boss. I think she's going to tell her boss, which would actually be her mother. After hearing Talia's proposal, her boss stops into London Charms and immediately recognizes why Talia has proposed a joint venture. I think he means she, discusses Talia's plans with the owner, who immediately recognizes the chance for increased capital as well as revenue. The deal is signed that day, and she got a creativity skill point. Hell yeah. I feel like the whole family is just so successful. And on that note, I realized as Carter was at school, who was I having him call? Oh yeah, he wants to speak to Dirk. I realized that when I talked about Carter, I didn't show you his traits, which I feel like are very important to know so that you can really understand his character. He is a loser. He's a loser and he's neat and he loves the heat. When he becomes a teenager, I might choose something more like sciency for him. But yeah, so loser is kind of crazy considering his father and older sister, they're both lucky, and so I feel like loser is kind of the opposite of lucky. He encounters woe and misfortune throughout their lives, beginning with school and continues into their careers. They will fail and fail often. They won't get mad. Even when life falls apart, they'll just cry. And I feel like that's so sad. um, so I'm not sure, of course, what the future holds for little Carter. He has his whole life before him, but I think that the cards are kind of stacked against him. I mean, his family probably is putting so much pressure on him to, I don't know, be the most perfect prodigal son, and this family isn't really the type to really reward acad- academics, like they obviously they all go to school, but they go to school for business. So I'm not sure. They probably think that Carter's interest in science is quite frivolous, and maybe they're disappointed. He's probably going to end up being a little bit of a black sheep. Similar in some ways to his oldest sister, Miranda, she was always kind of looked down upon for not really wanting to follow in the family footsteps either, and she was quite rebellious. So maybe when Carter becomes a teenager, he's going to sort of lean his own way, march to the drum of his own beat or however that goes. Okay, so Talia just got home from work around 7 p.m. or so, and she doesn't really have any super interesting ones. She just wants to earn more money and stuff like that. I'm not really saving her money in her own bank account because she's not making a whole lot, and I feel like when she goes off to college, she's going to end up taking some of the household funds anyway. If not automatically, then I'm probably just going to have her parents send her off with some money. So I'm not that worried about that. I think that I might just end up sending her to a teen lot instead of asking someone out. She does have a crush on Henry Curious, but they only have one bolt of chemistry and they're not that close. And Henry also just had his first kiss with Brooke Summerdream, and I'm just not sure that anything really is going to happen there between him and Talia now. And Ezra, if I'm not mistaken, has something going on with someone else. I mean, I know that he and Kylie Burb broke up, but yeah, I think he's dating Grace Pleasant now, so he's off the table. I'm not sure who Fallon Baker is dating, if anyone, but I don't know. We're just gonna send her off to a lot. We're gonna say that she asked her mom and she's gonna take her mom's car, and we'll meet back up with her wherever she decides to go. Okay, so here we are in Veronaville at the new and improved 431 Globe Parkway, or I don't remember what it's called exactly, but this is the teen only lot for Veronaville. I have designated it. I am pretty sure that this is a Katati remodel, and I'm sorry that it's so dark. I wish that you could see it a bit better, but it's pretty simple. It's pretty cute. They have a big fountain outside, a soccer post, and what I really like is this adorable, like, fake picnic blanket with candles and stuff. Obviously, that's just for show, but it's really cute. So freaking Talia was here for like an hour and no one spawned until just now. She was spending her time making some hot dogs, but look who is here. It's Fallon Beaker. He's the only person that has deigned to show up to this teen only lot, and I would really like for them to hang out maybe for a few minutes. Okay, so hopefully this goes well, and I'm gonna be keeping my eye out for anyone else. I cannot believe it took so long. Like, the only people that were showing up on the lot were adults, and they kept getting, like, banned. Oh, Percy Spectre is here too. Perfect. Oh, and suddenly she has two bolts with Fallon Beaker. I'm pretty sure originally it was only one. Of course, I had to remind myself, like, who exactly Fallon was romantically involved with, and I just remembered that he does have a crush on Astrid Curious. So Astrid is the child of Pascal Curious. Oh, and he kissed Kylie. I didn't even remember that. Yeah, but he kind of was like getting really serious with Astrid. They've already had, that was his first kiss, that was his first woohoo. Technically speaking, I wanted them to go steady, but I'm pretty sure Astrid is significantly older than Fallon and she has gone off to college or is about to, one or the other. I think she already went. So, in a way, Fallon is kind of free game because, you know, his girlfriend is off at college, but I don't know. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. um, Even Talia is a bit older than Fallon. I think that he's in the generation after them. And by generation, I just mean they're in the same generation, but they're different different classes. Let's say that. She's like a senior, he's like a freshman, basically. But look, what's she doing? Oh, she's flirting, or she's admiring him, I mean. I made her do that. Alright, let's see. Are you gonna interact by yourselves at all? Oh, yeah. Well, that's why you shouldn't leave mean people to their own devices. Talia, you're never gonna find a boyfriend like that. Oh my god, he did not like that at all. Oh, Ian Lohner is here, which he is definitely too young. He just aged up to a teenager. But it doesn't hurt to meet him. Have a hot dog, I guess. Oh, there goes Percy, but it looks like he's leaving. Dang, I mean, I know it's late, but how come none of the teenagers want to hang out at the new hotspot? Look how cool it looks inside. This little band area. This is amazing. It looks like Ian wants to get back there, but I don't know what the problem is. There's a nice little hangout spot. There's bathrooms. You have a cashier for something. I'm not sure what they can buy here. I don't know why there's a cashier. I would probably replace that with a coffee barista or something. And yeah, and a little arcade that you can buy cell phones and stuff at. But that's pretty much it. So I see Noah Pleasant is here as well. Aw, it's a boy band. Let's greet Noah. It's already almost 11 p.m. I did not want to keep her out super late, but it's not my fault that people just now showed up. It's the secret handshake! Oh my gosh! Oh, I love it. Okay, guys, I'm freaking obsessed. Oh, they're about to slap Fallon in the face. No, that was the best thing I've ever seen in my life. Oh, yeah, so I have a mod that actually re-enables the secret handshakes. It's supposed to be like a Max's feature. Sorry, the lighting is horrible in here. But it got like hidden or something. I don't remember exactly what the situation was, but I found a mod that enables it again. And so yeah, if your friends like greet each other, I guess, then they do the secret handshake, and they are best friends forever. She has no attraction whatsoever to Noah. I thought that he was bisexual, but I guess they are really destined to just be friends. Oh my god, and then Fallon just left. Are they really? I guess all the teenagers have a curfew, so this was a big bust. Um, yeah, Noah's leaving as well. I guess we will leave too. Yeah, not much really happened here. She ate a hot dog and she talks to Fallon for like 5 minutes. I guess next time I'll just have to send her out a bit earlier. Wow, you learn something new every day. The teens have a curfew. Oh, someone just walked up. It's Fallon again. Whatever. Let's go home. Alrighty, so it is now Tuesday morning. We only have like one more day, and I'm so excited and nervous because I don't want it to end. But Goneril is off to her very first day as CEO, and I realized something very important whenever Cornwall was over here the night before. I made him briefly selectable so that I could check out what level of career he was on, because I know he's also in the business career, and he's also a CEO, so it actually doesn't mean anything that Goneril has become CEO. I mean, I've always kind of pictured it, since the family business appears to be so large, that there's like multiple departments and stuff like that, and I feel like it is possible for there to be more than one president, more than one CEO, just because there's other branches of the business. I guess it's just what we're gonna work with for now, is that she is sort of still working up her way up the ladder to take over her father's job. She's not quite there yet, but she is one step closer. Alright, and so the kids should be getting ready to go off to school. Yeah, Talia needs to stop eating. Carter's off on his way. I had Albany up here working on his charisma skill because he had the wand for a new skill, and I see that he actually has the day off today, which is good. We're gonna maybe stop doing that for a bit and get ready for your day. He has some interesting wants. He wants to become friends with Sandy Fairchild, BFFs with Dirk. He wants to serve some food and get a puppy. Oh god. Oh wait, no. The butler set some food out for us, which was nice, but unnecessary. I really need to maybe put down some different, I guess, things on the table to stop him from serving so many plates. And we're gonna go putting. So I learned just the other day that this actually builds up their charisma skill, which is fun. I think this is a fun way to spend a beautiful part of the day outside. Let's see how he does. Oh, we got mail. Oh, hole in one. Very nice. Okay, so I think that Albany is going to have like a pretty uneventful evening. He's not a cheater, so he doesn't have anyone that he can sneak over to the house while he has the house all to himself. I think that what we're looking at right now is pretty much how he's going to spend his day, and we'll meet back up whenever everyone else gets home. So Talia has just gotten home from school, and she has finally gotten the A+ that she's wanted. So she is pretty freaking stoked. She's gonna run in here to tell her dad, and he is drinking in the middle of the day. Let's see if he has anything to say about this. Oh, just kidding. He has been drinking a little too much, and he's gonna throw up. Cool. Good job. I'm sure that your daughter was very impressed by that. Oh dear. Well, anyway, yeah, so Talia got her A+, so now we can have her apply for the Overachiever, or what is it called? The Young Entrepreneurs Award. Let's call college. I usually have them wait until the day that they go to college to apply for scholarships, but it doesn't hurt to do it now. Go ahead and get that want fulfilled. SimCity Scholars, saying footwork. Oh, I think this is for high creativity or something. Let me check. Oh no, that's like the secret dance skill. Yes, Young Entrepreneurs Award. Okay, perfect. I'm just not realizing that she probably didn't have to have an A+ because that was a separate scholarship, but whatever. She has 3 scholarships now. The Saying Footwork Award. Yeah, it's for being a great dancer. Right, so I guess she's been putting some good moves down. People have been seeing how good of a dancer she is, and she gets a scholarship for that. In a way, I'd like to think that it's for her ballet. Like, maybe she's been doing ballet recitals and stuff like that in her free time. That's sort of her hobby outside of school. And, yeah, she's gotten a scholarship for ballet. That's pretty cool. Well, she's about to go to work. She's going to get picked up at 2 o'clock. She won't get home again until 7, which doesn't leave a lot of time in the evening for us to really spend together. Oh gosh, I just turned on the radio. Hold on. Oh, why can't I click on it? Okay, there we go. What kind of music would she listen to? She's a pretty preppy kid, so I do feel like she would listen to pop. Let's see what we got. Do your homework real quick before you go to work. I don't really recognize this song. Oh, just kidding. Yes, I do. What am I talking about? And Carter is doing extremely well in school as well. Looks like he's gonna have an A+, just like Talia. I mean, it's pretty easy to do, but still, I do expect big things from this kid. Yes! And then he runs in to tell his dad, and hopefully Albany has a better reaction instead of just throwing up. Yeah, look at that. I wonder if Talia is a little upset about that. I want to maybe see if I can get a picture of this. It kind of looks like Albany's like, oh god, but I know he's cheering him on. Maybe I'll just take the picture like this. That's adorable. I love it. Oh crap, I can't pick this up. Okay, well I guess it's just stuck there. No, I got the hand for 1 second. Come on. It's right there. Yes, that was so annoying. So Goneril just got home from work. Of course, she did not get a promotion because she still has a lot of skills to get. But Carter just ran to greet her, which is sweet. It's good to know that they have such a good relationship, even though she hasn't always been the best mother. I do like to think that Goneril has sort of learned from her mistakes and she sees how her older children have turned out, so I think that she's trying a new leaf with her younger kids, which is still sad because the older children still should have been, they were deserving of her love. She just wasn't very good at it yet. Alright, so I decided that tonight would probably be a good night to get a little family reunion going. Goneril had the want to throw a party, so I thought how perfect for her to just invite everybody over. So first things first, we do have Miranda, a very pregnant Miranda, of course. We have Desdemona, who is looking great. And I do see a little white-haired man over here. And this is actually Hal Capp. He got this hair because I have new custom default replacements. This is not the hairstyle he's supposed to have, so I probably am gonna change that really quickly. But first, who else showed up? We also have Ariel Capp. This is their youngest daughter out of the pre-made children, that is, before Talia and Carter. And then Reagan and Cornwall showed up. I did also invite Oberon Summerdream and AJ Loner, but neither of them showed up. So yeah, I'm just gonna very quickly change Hal's hair. I don't feel like this suits him very well. Alright, so this is the new hairstyle that I chose for Hal, and I think it's very nice. And while I really did want to choose like a custom color, I just felt like they were all a little bit off. I'm gonna have to maybe look around and see if I can find any good ombre custom colored hairs, because that's what he originally had. It was like blonde and he had blonde, or no, I'm sorry, it was brunette, but he had blonde bangs, and I thought that it was really cute. I do miss that hairstyle. Maybe I should just find that old one and download it again. But yeah, for the time being, this is how he's gonna look, and he's still very, very handsome. So yes, all of Goneril's children are here. She just went upstairs and turned off her daughter's radio because she left it on. We have served some food, some drinks. I have everything all set up for them. Let's go light the fire and just see if who wants to hang out. Do have some nice jazz music playing. We'll see if it's not too loud. And we have 2 days until Carter and Talia's birthday. So I have done the math, and unfortunately they are not going to be aging up during this round because they'll be aging up Thursday evening, and we are only playing until Thursday morning. But just like the last time, that's going to be super fun to get back to them during the next episode. We're going to be able to see them age up at the very beginning of the next episode. So for now, we can just enjoy Talia as a teen and Carter as a kid. And why are these two smooching through a fence? I mean, I know it's just decoration fence, but still. It looks like Cornwall is in jail. That's so weird. Oh yes, and we now have 3 days until what's his face? Albany. I was about to say Cornwall becomes an elder, so he's going to be aging up to an elder during the next rotation as well. Before you actually come light that, you should probably greet your guests, say hello. We don't really have much of a relationship with Miranda, but I'm really trying to get one started, at the very least. I'm gonna say hello to Ariel. Hello? Okay, there it is. Lots of blondes in this family. Just not really realizing that. We're gonna, say hello to Desdemona. I feel like I'm having Goneril be too nice, but you know. She just wants to say hello to everybody. What were you just doing over here? Oh, he's trying to talk to the baby and Miranda's not having it. Oh, that's unfortunate. Very awkward. Oh, we're gonna come light the fire when it's this beautiful sunset outside. I don't know if anyone will really sit out here, but it'll be nice. And I just realized that Carter went to sleep earlier, so I'm gonna have him get up so he can join the party. I also realized a little bit too late that for both his bedroom and Talia's, I forgot to give them dressers. Not really a big deal in the grand scheme, but kind of silly of me. Oh, Talia has returned home from work. Ivy could purpose. I'm gonna have Talia get the mail, because I do keep forgetting about the bills. Oh my god, the lighting is crazy, because it's like the ground is light, but she's in pure blackness. It doesn't make any sense. We're gonna see if Albany wants to dance with Ariel. She's busting it down to that jazz. Very nice. Goneril gone to get something to eat. We're just enjoying the fire. I wanted someone to use this at least once. Nice. Maybe Talia can invite over a friend. I wonder who would she invite? Let me see. I guess Fallon, honestly. They're the closest thing to being friends. Beaker. Fallon. We're gonna have her change into her everyday. And why can't she call him over? There she goes. So we're having some nice dinner with Hal and Carter and Cornwall. Hal is definitely kind of like a rebel, similar to his older sister Miranda. He is going into, I think, the music career. Yeah, he's currently a summer camp music teacher, which is cute. And he does want to marry Bottom Summer Dream, but I don't think that she's going to be interested. But only time will tell on that part. Their episode will be coming up shortly, of course. Okay, and so Fallon has come outside to hang out. Maybe we could ask him to join her on the couch. The fire went out. No. Add logs. Reagan is out here eating her dinner, so she's kind of spoiling the mood. And now Desdemona as well. Maybe we should just start interacting a bit. Maybe I should put another light out here. I don't know, it's just so freaking dark. She's shooting her shot. Of course Fallon likes himself. What did I have her do? Giving him a back rub? It's kind of risky. But he does seem into it. I bet Fallon would like the attention. Oh, why are we all fighting now? What's happening? I'm gonna put Albany on cleanup duty. Stop eating if you're so full. His fun is super duper low. Actually, I don't know that Carter really knows his other siblings. Okay, so he's at least met Hal. It does not look like he's ever met his sister Miranda, because like I said, she does not come around much. So we're gonna come outside, roast some marshmallow, and then talk to his older sister, because it's kind of awkward when they don't know each other at all. And so no funny business, of course, between Talia and Fallon. I'm just gonna have them become friends, and whatever else happens can happen. And here comes Carter to roast his marshmallow. This is a nice little family gathering. Everyone's getting along at least. Could be worse. I didn't know if this was gonna help his fun at all. Oh, it kinda did, yeah. Well, that scared me. She's busting a move. He's trying to get to his sister, but she's running away. Oh, look, they're gonna play kicky bag. Oh, just kidding. No, they're not. Okay, Talia, you're on cleanup duty as well. They're really attracted to this table for food, but they are not especially hungry, so that's weird. I can't believe this kid is like 10 or 11 or 12 years old, however old he's supposed to be, and he's never met his older siblings. Oh, he just now met Hal and Miranda. Oh, that's terrible. But he does know Ariel and Desdemona. I'm not sure if they were still in the house when he was born. I think that they were. Okay, everyone is trying to clean up the dishes. Do you want to play catch outside? You know, Miranda has two, or no, I'm sorry, she has one child that I know of. She has Valentina. But she's pregnant with her second, if I'm not mistaken, yes. So Valentina, I should have invited her. That's, Goneril and Albany's only grandchild right now. It's already 11 p.m. though, and the party's over, so whatever. You know what? Hindsight is 50-50. Or 20-20? Okay, but the party is over, so we're gonna go ahead and get them already sent off to bed so that we can have one more full day tomorrow. Okay, so in a very interesting turn of events, Albany has also been promoted to CEO. This is starting to get a bit silly. I don't know how to keep track of this anymore. I think that I'm just eventually gonna have to start using the job stopinator. I know that's a mod that you can put, I think, in their inventory. Why is his face stuck like this? Do you have pink eye? Anyway, you can put that in their inventory, if I'm not mistaken, to prevent them from getting promotions, even if, like, a chance card called for it, maybe. I don't know. Because I had no idea that his skills were high enough for him to constitute another promotion. So yeah, he is now on par with his wife, and I just don't feel like that makes sense. So I think I'll leave it alone for the time being and see how you guys feel about that. But what I'm leaning towards is the possibility of just demoting him myself, like with the sim blender, and introducing a job stopinator. Because I just don't think that Albany is the type of person that would have very high stakes in the company. Okay, there you go. His eye is finally fixed. Oh wow. Well, enjoy being CEO for the day at least. Okay, so one of Talia's friends has just come by to say hello, and it's none other than Vega Curious. So Vega is very close friends with both Talia, and she was friends with Mason, if I'm not mistaken, before Vega was caught in the arms of River Caliente. River is like a pseudo Cap. He still is a Caliente by name. Oh, let's get Albany to stop doing that now. This man is just all about building up his skills, and apparently that gives them like sports enthusiasm. That's pretty funny. Anyway, but going back over here, yeah, so River has been kind of playing the scene, and he's been dating a few girls around town. One of those was Mason Cap, who is Talia's cousin, but then he got caught kind of hitting on Vega, so anyway, it's nice to see that Talia is maintaining a neutral stance and she's still able to be friends with everyone involved. In fact, I don't know, is she friends with Mason? Yeah, Mason's like her closest friend. We haven't seen much of her this round because we've been trying to find Talia a boyfriend, but clearly she's probably not going to have her first kiss until she actually goes off to college, which is going to happen Thursday at 6 p.m. So the next round, we'll have at least one, like half a day left anyway, of her being a teenager, so there's still a chance it could happen at home, but pretty unlikely. She just hasn't found the one yet. But it's nice to see the dynamic between these two girls because Vega is in romance sim. Let's actually make her selectable really quickly. She's in romance sim and she has already woohooed. Even as a teenager, she's pretty young, but you know, it happens like that sometimes. Of course, she only has eyes for River right now, but as a romance sim, I don't think that it's going to stay that way for long. Of course, she's also attracted to Fallon and Noah. I feel like those are two of the most attractive boys at school, apparently. Not who I would have picked, but apparently Fallon Beaker is very sought after. So yeah, we're gonna maybe stop hanging out on the porch. Talia's pretty freaking bored anyway. I'll go in here and watch some TV. Maybe... Yeah, Vega's gonna join. People keep sitting in this armchair to watch the TV, which is so stupid. But I'm just gonna leave it there because I like the chair in that spot. Okay, who's crying? Carter's really tired. It's pretty early, but I'm just gonna let him go to bed. He's had a long, hard day, I guess. And same for Goneril. She is pretty much pooped. Why is everyone so tired, actually? But okay, they can all go to bed, I guess. Yeah, so we're now 100 over 60. She recently became best friends with Vega and Levi Curious. They became best friends in the phone. So this is why I'm definitely thinking when she becomes an adult, I think Talia could be a secondary popularity sim. She just has it in her DNA. Like, it just makes the most sense, you know? Oh, just kidding. Your friend needs to use the potty. Maybe get some food out for Vega to eat on. If she wants an omelet, she can have it. Oh, why didn't... Did she use the toilet? I didn't even hear her flush. I don't think Vega flushed the toilet. That's pretty nasty. And look, I was right. She was starving. She's eating that. That omelet. So in case you are unfamiliar with Vega, she is the alien daughter of Laszlo Curious, and she has inherited some of his personality, including being super sloppy. Obviously, that's one. She is what I like to refer to as like a bio-android, so she has, you know, a biological functioning body the way that a normal human being would, but she also has some obviously like mechanical type skin to her. I think she's really cool. I like her a lot. She's definitely one of my favorite aliens. We don't have very many, but we do have a good selection. It is getting pretty late though, so I think that we are going to say goodbye to Vega. They had a nice little hangout tonight, and Talia's just gonna go upstairs and go to bed. She has rolled the want to go to college, and seeing as how she is only 1 day from aging up, I went ahead and locked it in. Regardless of whether or not she wanted to go to college, I'm sure that I would have forced her to go because it's just something that I think her family would have forced her to do. Forced is a strong word, but you know, like it's very much expected from a Cap to go to university and get an education, even if you end up not doing anything special with it, like how. Okay, guys, so it has officially ticked over to winter, and this is unfortunately where we're gonna have to leave the family. I know it feels like not too much happened in today's episode, but sometimes it's kind of nice to just, you know, get the day-to-day passed by in a way the story has developed. So, first and foremost, of course, Goneril is #1 in the lead to take over her father's position for the company. I think that a fun way to do this is also just to see who becomes the next business tycoon out of the Caps, that is, and whoever it is going to end up being the official heir. I am definitely hoping that it's a woman because I think that her younger sister Reagan could also be a good contender for that, or possibly even Juliet or Hermia, but once again, neither of them are in the business career. Tybalt Cap has joined the business career now after he got fired from being a lawyer, which is hilarious, but basically she does have some competition, but Goneril is definitely in the lead, and we'll have to see where things go the next time we visit this family. Also, luckily, she did not get pregnant again, thank God. I didn't think that she would, but I don't know, I have had my Sims get pregnant with like 7 days left, and funnily enough, she has 7 days until she becomes an elder, so that's exciting. A couple more rounds, we'll get an older Goneril. And Albany here has 2 days. So yeah, the next rotation we visit this family, Albany is going to become an elder. And where is she at? Talia is going to be going off to college. You know, she is starting to get a little bit boy crazy. She is very flirty, but I think that she's waiting until she meets the right one. She thought about giving a smooch to Henry, but maybe she heard through the grapevine that he had his first kiss with Brooke Summerdream, and maybe Talia just did not want his, you know, she didn't want to be second best. She wants to be someone else's first kiss, possibly. I don't know. Or she's just waiting for the right one. And she did work on her friendship. She has quite a few friends, some of which we did not see today, of course, such as River, her cousin Mason. We did see Vega. We did see Noah. Grace Pleasant, they're not quite as close, but hopefully they'll reconnect in college because they're about the same generation. Grace has also gone off to college now, so I think that Talia will be very shortly behind her. And then Levi Curious, and I'm not sure where Henry falls in that, but Henry Curious as well. And little Carter, when we come back, he is going to be aging up to a teenager, and I'm very, very sure that he is going to be a knowledge sim. And I'm racking my brain trying to think if any of Albany and Goneril's children are knowledge sims. I think there's a possibility that Ariel is a knowledge sim, but I really cannot remember off the top of my head, and unfortunately I don't really keep like a spreadsheet. But regardless, I do see Carter as being a little bit of a special kid. He's extremely gifted, very smart. I think that he's going to go far. I definitely don't think he's going to get sucked into the Capp family business. I think that is beneath him. But he still has quite a ways to go. I'm very excited to see him become a teenager, of course. And we're going to leave the family with their little lopsided windows here at sunrise at Thursday, 6 a.m. Sorry to see them go, but I had a great time with them. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's episode because I still had a lot of fun, even if nothing huge happened. Sometimes you just need that little slice of life. I hope to see you in the next episode really soon, where we're going to be visiting the next Monty family, which is going to be Bianca and her husband and their children. I'm very excited to go back to them as well. I've been having a great time revisiting these Veronaville Sims. Honestly, they're so underrated. I highly recommend playing with Veronaville, at least in a Megahood or Uberhood, if you haven't already, because these Sims have a lot of untapped potential. And that's going to be it for today, guys. Thank you so much once again for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day, your night, your week, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!